In today's video, we are going to follow some speaking exam questions about learning English. I'm going to read these questions and answer them. Obviously, I'm English, so I can't really answer a lot of the questions. So I'm going to pretend that I'm not English so that you can use the answers as examples for your speaking exam. The first question is, why are you studying English? I am studying English because it is the language of international business. I use English at work, and I know that if I become fluent in the language, it will help me advance in my career. The next question is, what adjectives describe your feelings about English? The first adjective that I would use to describe English is difficult, because I spend a lot of time studying English and it is still quite difficult for me, especially the phrasal verbs and expressions. But I could also use the word rewarding to describe learning English, because when I have learnt something new or I notice that I have improved, then it is very rewarding and I feel proud of myself. The next question is, what is your best piece of advice to study English? My best piece of advice to study English is to be consistent. That means that you need to practice it every week or every day if you can, but you can't just study it for 1 week and then stop studying for 2 months. You have to be consistent. To be consistent, it is important that you find an activity that you like doing in English. That could be watching a series in English or reading a forum in English, something that you enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy it, you will always associate English with a textbook or something boring. And that won't keep you motivated, so it will be more difficult to stay consistent. The next question is, what is your favorite word in English and why? My favorite word in English is phenomenon. I like it because it sounds funny, but it is quite difficult to pronounce. The next question is, what is more important, speaking, reading, writing, or listening? I suppose that this depends on what you need English for. If you only need English at work to read documents, then reading is the most important. But in general, I would say that speaking and listening are the most important if you need English to travel or to just talk on the phone at work. The next one is, do you worry about making mistakes in English? Yes, the truth is that I do worry about making mistakes in English, but my teacher always says that it's important to make mistakes because then my teacher can correct me. But when I'm outside the classroom and I'm talking to people at work in English, I don't like making mistakes because I'm afraid that they will correct me or that they won't understand me. The next one is, what do you think of English grammar and spelling? I think that English grammar is easier than spelling because the grammar normally follows some rules, but the spelling doesn't. There are a lot of words that are very difficult to spell and they don't follow any rule. Even English people get a lot of words wrong. The most common mistake that I see that English people make is the difference between their, as in they are, their, as in something that belongs to them, like their phone or their house, and there, as in over there. The next one is, how important is English for you in your job or future? English is very important in my job because we have to communicate with people from other countries, and the language that we use to do so is English. This is the reason why I started to study English. Regarding my future in general, not only at work, learning English is important for me personally because I think that English is something that I have always had difficulties with. And if I learned to speak English fluently, then it would be a great achievement for me. I was never good at English at school, so I would be very proud of myself if I can achieve a high level. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.